"We didn't order for your son," my sister said. The restaurant had the kind of quiet that costs money. Heavy cloth napkins, low light calibrated to make everyone look gentler than they felt. I noticed the prices before I noticed the faces. I always did. It helped me understand the room. My sister had already taken charge of the ordering like she always did. Bright, decisive, efficient. Her kids were leaning toward the pictures on the menu, pointing at things that came with adjectives instead of descriptions. Dry-aged, heritage, finished tableside. When the waiter came back, she ordered without looking at me. Steaks for her kids, the good cuts, and a dessert she announced in advance, as if scarcity were a rumor that only applied to other people. Then she gestured at the basket the waiter had set down. "We didn't order for your son," she said, cheerful. "He can have bread." It wasn't said with malice. That was the trick. It was said the way people explain weather. My father didn't even look up from the wine list. "You should have packed him something," he added, like this was a lesson we were all tired of repeating. My son sat there swinging his legs, studying the bread like it was a puzzle. He didn't reach for it right away. He waited. He always waited. I smiled. It was automatic, practiced. "Noted," I said, and it sounded exactly how I meant it to sound. Agreeable, finished. Inside, something rearranged itself. I noticed the waiter's name tag. I noticed the manager circling near the bar, counting steps, watching tables. I noticed the credit cards already laid out near my sister's elbow, like placeholders in a game whose rules had been decided earlier. This wasn't new. It never was. There were birthdays where my slice came last, holidays where generosity was performed like theater, always angled toward the same audience. I had learned early that protest only fed the story they preferred to tell about me. Easier to be reasonable. Easier to be grateful for what was offered, even when what was offered was less. My son took a piece of bread. He tore it carefully, the way he did everything. He wasn't embarrassed. That made it worse and better at the same time. When the waiter returned to check on drinks, I stood. Not abruptly, just enough to be unmistakable. "Excuse me," I said, and my voice surprised even me. Calm. Even. "Before we go further, I want to clarify something." The table went quiet in that way families do when they sense a script deviation. "I'll need a separate check for me and my son," I continued, still looking at the waiter. "We'll order now." My sister laughed, short and confused. "Oh, it's fine. We've got—" "I appreciate that," I said, finally meeting her eyes, then letting them pass to the manager who had stopped nearby. "But we'll be handling ours." There it was. The shift. Small but visible. The manager stepped closer, professional smile ready. "Of course," he said. "What would you like to order?" I didn't rush. I ordered simply. Food my son liked. Nothing extravagant. Enough. "And I'll pay now," I added, pulling out my card and placing it on the edge of the table, exactly where it would be seen. The manager nodded. He took the card without comment. The waiter wrote everything down as if this were the most ordinary thing in the world. My father cleared his throat. My sister's smile tightened, recalibrating. The performance had lost its lighting. When the checks came later, they came divided. The manager placed ours in front of me, then returned to the table with a quiet explanation about how the rest would be handled. He didn't apologize. He didn't need to. The correction was procedural, public, final. Food arrived. My son ate. He didn't rush. He didn't look around to see who was watching. He just ate. No one said much after that. Conversation resumed in fragments, careful and oddly polite, like everyone had agreed to avoid a subject without naming it. I didn't feel triumphant. There was no rush, no vindication. Just a settling, like furniture finally placed where it belonged. When we stood to leave, my sister hugged me too tightly. "Next time," she said, smiling for witnesses. "Sure," I said. Outside, the night air was cool and ordinary. My son reached for my hand. "Did I do something wrong?" he asked. "No," I said. "You did exactly right." We walked to the car without hurry. Behind us, the restaurant continued doing what it did best, serving, correcting, moving on. Some things hadn't changed. Some probably never would. But the next time bread was offered as a solution, it wouldn't be mistaken for the whole meal.